start to get those balanced. Now I'm gonna look, okay, we get that, what's next? Okay, maybe that next thing was your sleep. Okay, we're gonna start working on the little things that's gonna pull that down. So it's tough to say just 3 basic things. I'm gonna look at you as an individual. I think that's what everybody has to do, look at themselves. What do they need more than anything? It's not gonna be, well, this has gotta be the most important. Well, maybe it's important, but it might not be important for you. Because if I gave, just taking out one of your examples, so if those are the 3 things you said, but you had a great workout program, well, see, then I wouldn't have to work on anything about your physical aspect of it right now. I would just have to work on the nutrition, the sleep, and what else? Like
And eat poor
yeah,
eating.
just eating. So those would be the things I would focus on. If maybe, like you said, then yeah, other things are in line. Okay, or at least a little bit better than waiting on those. Okay. Anything else?
So you talked about the omega-3 and omega-6. I kind of get those mixed up. Can you just kind of talk about that a little bit more? Like what's an omega-3 and what's
So
an
omega-3 versus omega-6. Omega-6 a lot of times is a pro-inflammatory, which is not bad because you need inflammation in your body to remove things as well. But the problem is our body's way out of balance. So we have a ton of omega-6s because the foods that we're eating are not grass-fed. Like when an animal's eating proper diet, it's getting it has a proper ratio of those fats in itself. So when we're eating an animal that's out of balance, we're going to be out of balance as well. Does that answer?
So where do I find omega-3s in like animals that are healthy?
Well, healthy, but healthy because they're eating the proper things. So a lot of the grass-fed animals. And that's where you want to get the grass-fed organic because you know they're not getting the hormones, they're eating properly, they're going to have high levels of the omega-3s versus the omega-6s. A lot of times if an animal's fed grain, fed corn, it's going to be super high on the omega-6, there's going to be no omega-3s, you're going to be way out of balance. It's going to be causing, again, a lot of the inflammation in your body. You can't really fight it if you're not having those omega-3s then.
Got it.
My question is about produce.
Okay.
So, you know, you got your Wegmans, which is organic,
Right.
assuming it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But then you've got your farmer's market, right? Allentown Farmers Market, which I've went to every little stand there, and the only thing that's organic is blueberries.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you've got to like make sure it's organic, and once in a rare while, bananas. But I haven't found any bananas yet. But anyway, so my question is, you know, you want to stay local, right? So, but like local doesn't mean organic.
Right. Not
right?
necessarily.
So that
Well,
it
USD
can be more organic than, well, like better than a giant or something, right? But
so
it's not.
the USDA
Right.
owns the word organic. So these farmers have to pay thousands of dollars every year to stay certified with the organic. And this, we'll get into this actually a lot next month too, but it's a great question because it's important. So, all right, it says organic if I go to the big supermarket store, and over here, it may not say organic. That's when talk to the farmer, talk to them, see what they say. Are they saying, oh, I use all these things? Are they kind of being shady about, yeah, well, yeah, we're okay, we're all natural or something like that. Talk to them, see what they're saying. Because just because they don't have that certification that they're organic doesn't mean that it can be like a true organic. They might not use any pesticides, any herbicides. It might be just they're growing it well. They just can't afford to get those certifications and
And
keep
a
it
lot
up.
of them just don't like the way organic looks, so they don't want to, because it won't sell, so they won't do
And
it.
that's possible too. So that's where you just want to talk to them, see what they have to say.
But like, where do you recommend to get produce then?
Like you said,
Like,
go into a
it's
farmer's
fine.
market, that's local, that's great. Even if there are any farms in the area.
But
Good
if
place,
it's not
yeah.
organic, like,
It doesn't have to be organic. You can look, go to the farm, see what it's looking like, see what they're doing there. Are they just, is there tons of chemicals and stuff they have piled up? All right, if they are, then I'm not going to want to go back there. But talk to them. A lot of times, if they have nothing to hide, they're going to be open. They're going to be wanting to talk to you about it. They'll let you know what's going on.
There's your Lay's farmer's market too, that's smaller.
Right. And
But it's not.
So you're saying you would buy produce that's not organic if you talk to the farmer?
yeah, as long as I feel comfortable with them, yeah.
Okay.
It's just, again, you gotta be aware. If they seem
And then,
really standoffish when you ask them that kind of stuff,
and then
you might
here's
not wanna go
another
there.
question. How do you feel about veggie wash? If you buy cheap, like in Giant or
Mhm.
like whatever farmer's market, but it's not really organic, and then you have a veggie wash, does that cut it, or could the stuff like seep inside of the vegetable?
well, that's the thing. Anything that's in the soil, they're picking up. So if you're throwing down any pesticides, herbicides, whatever it may be, it's inside there.
Right. It's not-
Is it gonna help with whatever got sprayed on it? Yeah, it's gonna help, but it's still not gonna be the same. Is it a step? Yeah, and that's where kind of Travis was asking, like, if I'm ready to start making some, different steps to get to that point, hey, if that's where you're at, you do that. You start washing all the veggies, you start washing all the fruits and veggies, going from there. And then try and make that next step, trying to make sure that it's fresh, trying to make sure that it's not produced with anything you don't want in it. Yeah?
Okay, so say you eat a ton of processed foods and you want to make the healthier switch, but I mean, would you recommend starting somewhere? I know like one of the case studies said like the chef practitioner she worked with said cut out all your wheat for 2 weeks and then dairy.
Yeah.
Like is that a starting point for everyone or
It's gonna
like-
depend, and I think you're gonna have to look at the individual. So, you may ask, this, or you may figure out, I need to change this, this, and this. And you're ready to go, you do it, that's it, it's done. But, next person comes in, well, I wanna change this, I wanna change this. They might be a little bit more standoffish. So, it might be, so we're talking about, things like dairy too. So, you got just regular pasteurized, homogenized milk. You got organic, and then you're gonna have the organic grass-fed. So that's just a kind of a step. So you start with the regular, you go to organic. So you're making a little bit of step. It's progress in the right direction. And then, or same thing like we were just talking about with Stacey too, making the steps. So okay, maybe you can't go in all with the organic fruits and veggies to start. So you make sure you try and get the clean ones when you can. If not, you're washing them, getting as much off as you can. So you can do it in steps, you can jump all in, it's all gonna depend on the person. So I don't know, it's tough to say one way or another, but if you're ready and you wanna do it, go for it. If you can handle it, go as much as you can, get all in. But again, don't overwhelm yourself either, where it's gonna be too much. Can I go?
I have a question about the functional bottom and the dysfunctional
Yep,
heart bottom. Can you go over that a little bit more? Because
so with the pelvic floor
Yeah.
functioning and stuff.
I see one.
When you have, so yeah, if you're, what page is that on, if everyone wants to check it out?
163.
163. So, a heart, just your bottom looking like a heart. What it's doing is all your pelvic floor muscles are activating all the time. I think it's the gluteus medius too is overworked, and that's why your butt's setting up pretty much a lot higher. That's because you have dysfunction in the pelvic. It could be with the pelvic floor, could be transverse abdominis, could be multifidus. All the inner unit muscles again are just working overtime. They're super stressed. They're never shutting off. They're never going back and forth between they need to work and they can take a break a little bit. It's just gonna be always on. But then the reverse heart bottom is just, again, you get the full shape back because it's normal. You're not just hiked up. Everything's not just tensing up all the time because it is working properly. It can turn on, can turn off when it needs to. Tim?
Yeah, going back to digestion.
Yeah.
Are there any good indicators that I'm properly absorbing the nutrients I need? Is there anything that I
Tough
could,
question.
anything that I could observe throughout the day?
Throughout the day.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that you can tell so much. I don't know, like that one I wouldn't touch on as much. I'm not at that level to definitely comment on there. But I would say look at, again, looking at like the stool kind of, if it's coming out and you're seeing a lot of food in there, it shouldn't be. It should be broken down properly. So that's one thing that you can do that's simple to check out. But I would say more you need a practitioner there to maybe run some blood tests, see What are your levels